Hey, welcome to a Wednesday night live watch chat, but it's Thursday night. Sorry, guys. I had to postpone our stream yesterday. I had a sleep study. So I had one of those, but it was like an in-home one. So I had to put the things in my face and all that kind of stuff. So,
Did you
hope,
pass?
yeah, yeah,
All
with
right.
flying colors. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I guess they tell me in a few days, if I need if I have sleep apnea, which I think I do and I probably need one of those things. Um, whatever.
Did the did all the things on your face make it more difficult to sleep?
Well, it wasn't as bad, right? I mean, as I thought it was, or the stories that I've heard. What was difficult, like I like to sleep on my side, and then I had this like monitor and this like strap around my chest and my belly, so that was kind of like hard to
Hmm.
get comfortable that way.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that bad. I mean, I woke up a couple times a night, but I always wake up a couple times a night anyway. So I'm just hoping like the doctor was like when he prescribed this, he was like, there's a chance that it doesn't work. I mean, because it's not the real thing as if you would do a sleep study in the center. I think because of COVID, they're
Right.
trying to minimize that kind of exposure. So I'm just hoping that they were able to get at least some data, whether I get a diagnosis or not. I just get the data and let me know. So. Anyway, I feel like a 90-year-old man talking about my medical problems. Um, welcome, guys. Hey, Joey, thanks for joining us today. This is it's a special stream tonight, but
It
you're
is.
on as a as a sidekick here for me. As
What?
we
I'm sorry, Bobby. What was your name again? Right there.
who?
Joe. You're Joe. Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you guys know each other?
I only know him as PB.
Yeah.
Pe-
Nice to meet
peanut
you.
butter. Yeah. How you doing, Joey?
I'm
And
doing
tell us
great.
about your guest after you tell us about what watch you're wearing.
Yeah. So I'm wearing this quartz shitter tonight in honor of Paul.
Yeah.
Very
I
nice.
think Paul has a couple, or I hope only one 9F.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
He
I'm
does.
I'm thrilled to be here. Thrilled to
Yeah.
be here to see my friend Paul and say uh, do a little critique on his collection. Uh, I Paul's become a really close friend of mine, and I'm looking forward to giving him some really good feedback and supporting him. I also have a guest with me, um, and he's here to also help critique the collections. He's going to pop in from time to time throughout the show. Um, so this is my buddy. This is
Oh my God.
this is Rolly the Rolly the Angry Pit,
God, dude.
and Rolly, you wanna say hi? Yes. I'm here to see all the shitters. Yes. So yeah, Rolly's gonna have some things to say about Paul's collection, and I'm looking forward to getting into it.
We are stepping it up here on the Bobby Legs channel.
Deep
Rolly,
breaths.
the pit guest panelist for tonight. Anyway, moving on. The guest of honor tonight. We're going to discuss his collection, review it, get some feedback from Rolly. Paul, how you doing, man?
Yeah. I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Good. Thank
Yeah.
you for joining us and doing this tonight.
Yeah.
I saw you on Sanjay's stream a couple Saturdays ago, and you were great. And
Thank you.
and I wanted to get you on, and you gracefully accepted. What do you have on wrist tonight?
I have, well, long time viewer, first time caller. Really, really love the show. Today I've got my Carrera 39 on, as usual.
Excellent. Right. And I have my Submariner there. Let's say hello to the chat before we start getting into how you get into watch collecting and some of the pieces in your collection. Hey Neff, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
What's up now?
Hey Dan, what's up? Peter's here. Miss Ross, how are ya? Wilson's here. Bill K. Chaz from the Berg. Time Hill. What is going on, fellows? Justin, how you doing, buddy? And
Justin.
there's Easy Clayton. What's going on?
Clayton.
Mr. Time Hill. Hello. Caliber, what is up? Guys, let us know what you're wearing on wrist. Are you wearing a Grand Seiko or a tag tonight? Rolling?
Yes, this. Smoke them if you got them. Just like this.
Oh, man. That's awesome. Wilson, what is up? Kevin S. Hey, buddy. Thanks for joining us.
What's up, Kevin?
Oil money. Remember, boys, the full oil money treatment. All right. So I think that's code for Rolly there. Junior Johnson, what is up? How you doing? Jeffrey D. Sleep apnea, habit. Been wearing a mask for years. PM me questions. Will do, man.
Nice.
Will do. Hey, Detroit Spartan, what's up, man? Good to see you. Neo is here. Hello, humanity. Yes. Ken Spear checking in from Pittsburgh, as always. And let's see, anybody else? Beans is here. What's up, Beans?
Hey. Oh, that's rude. Hi.
Christ.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Unsubscribed.
Beans, I'm gonna you know what I'm gonna do, Beans? I'm gonna see if I get a link and I'm gonna throw it in the chat. So if you wanna join us too, because I know you're a big buddy of Paul's. So
We're not friends.
Oh no.
No. My inbox is full, but no responses. It's just weird.
And let's see here. Okay, I think I'm getting. Yeah,
I thought about wearing my my Aqua Timer tonight, or Aquaterra rather, it being the best watch in the world, but I couldn't put down the newbie honeymooning and all. But I did take the time to put on, my most expensive shirt with the pony on it. I paid $300 for this shirt.
Nice.
It's better than your shirt because it has the pony. So I just want to make that clear.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. I mean, I just have a T-shirt with
You're pretentious is the coolest, Joe.
Yeah.
Like, really.
Craig G's here. Hey, Craig, how are you? Bean saying, I don't have the courage to face him over video. I will critique via text. Okay, fair enough. AZ Clayton wearing the Longa 1850. Okay.
Yellow.
All right, so let's get started here. Paul, I've known you for a little while now here through Facebook mostly, and some of the groups that we share in common. How did you get into watchmaking? I mean, not watchmaking, but watch collecting.
My dad and mostly like race cars, Formula One, and really just cars. My dad had road and tracks and car and drivers in his office. So from the time I was like 4 or 5, I was reading them cover to cover. I mean, I love them. So they always had like, and he had the Rob report that came in too, and that was an odd one. So like Frank Mueller, Tag Heuer was a big one. With Ayrton Senna was in the ads. Breitling was huge. So, I still like Breitling, even though they're too big for me. But yeah, it was really from race cars is, my biggest influence for the whole deal.
Excellent. So, let's just start jumping into what you got here, and let us know, a little bit of a backstory about how you got the watch and whatnot. Let me share the screen. And first up is a Christopher Ward.
Yes.
Tell us about this one, Paul.
Okay. This one I think is okay. So I got a set of rules first. Like, I don't buy watches over $5,000 MSRP. New, under 5,000 used. There's a gold mine of old IWCs, 90s, 2000s, but I try to, focused on new here. Anyways, this was $1,500. It's grade 5 titanium. And I really like this one. I don't like the logo. I wish they went to the twin flags at 9. I don't like the name either. I think it's pretty cheesy. But overall, I do like this watch a whole lot. It has a trick crown in it. So I've listened to a few interviews with Mike France. So it has a push in recessed crown. So basically, he wanted to get a watch he could go. He's a cyclist, so he wanted to have a watch he could go cycling with, and it would fit that purpose. So this watch is built for that purpose, which really intrigued me. So it's 45 grams light on the head, chronometer SW200, which I'm fine with, and I'll get back to that's from cars too. But what really intrigued me was under $5,000, there's not a lot of new tech to find. So this crown system is pretty cool to me because it's pretty easy to use. And I don't know if it's more efficient or more functional, but it was just cool to see it.
Yeah.
And I had to see it and play with it and see how it worked. Yeah.
Is that bezel fixed, or because I don't see another knob to move it? Is that just a fixed, chapter ring there with the? Okay. All right. So that doesn't move. Okay.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And Rolly, any comments on this one so far, Rolly?
Well, I'll
or Joey?
I'll give Paul a little positive support here, and first, it's one of my favorite colorways is the orange and black of all time. I think it comes from the Explorer too. It's just a something that I always loved. But I agree with Paul. I just don't see myself ever getting a Christopher Award.
Sure.
That logo is rough for me, and the name is rough for me, and I know, like the C word. No C word for me.
Okay. Well, fair. Hot take by Rolly there. No C word for Rolly.
No.
I hear you on the Christopher Ward. I mean, like the logo, especially at the 9 o'clock, really bothers me. The name anyway on there on some of the models. I actually had bought a Christopher Ward recently, and I canceled the order. I just don't know. I think I need more time in person to see these. I mean, this particular watch that you have is very, very cool, and I do like that tech with the push-in crown. That's pretty awesome. I really haven't seen that before. But in general, I think I need to spend a little bit more time with Christopher Ward before I ever pull a trigger on it.
What sold me was the CEO.
Gotcha. Okay.
And it's a value brand. And I know that word, anybody who's into, I'm not into luxury. I don't like the word. I don't like luxury. It's yuck. Anyways.
Yeah.
So I can totally get that. But another thing that I really like, the orange colorway he was talking about, that goes back to cars too. BMW researched in the 70s for orange amber lights at night is the easiest on the spectrum to see for your eyes. So I really love orange because it's such a legible color that shows up at your eyes at night. So from BMW's interior amber lights, that's why they have orange lights. So that's why I really like orange. Yeah.
I will say, I like the, I love their hour hands. I think their hour hands are cool.
Yeah.
That big long arrow. It's, I could give or take the trident.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It's too decorative, and it doesn't go with the lightweight.
It kind of reminds me of one of my complaints about a lot of the ball watches is the RR on the second hand.
Yeah. I mean, I do like that on the ball watches. The trident for me fits more if you're going diver. You know what I mean? I can let that pass.
Yeah.
But to have it on this model, maybe not so much. But whatever. It's kind of like their signature, right? So Beans wants to know, love that watch, but Paul needs to tell us why this isn't a fashion watch.
Yeah, it isn't a fashion watch. I mean, it's made for enthusiasts. It's made for people good-looking watches that are sport driven. And the marketing may be cheesy. The coupons annoy people too. I don't care. I get less money off of it.
Oh yeah.
But I'll tell you this: the build quality is as good as almost any Swiss watch I've owned outside of a Rolex. It's got a quick release bracelet, and the end link fitment is phenomenal. And it quick releases at the bracelet. And these systems are good. It's really well done.
Yeah.
But the other thing I'll say about this, what I found fascinating was when I bought it in the interview, Mike France sent out to find a new crown. And he revealed that there's only 2 major companies that work for almost all Swiss companies to develop crowns, which I thought was fascinating. So yeah.
Kevin S is the trident reminds him of Jason Momoa.
Yeah, Aquaman's the worst.
Neff, I would definitely buy the Jason Momoa.
So there's only one retractable crown, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
I wasn't sure if the inside chapter ring rotates or not.
It's just so wearable. I wear this the most out of all my watches by far. I mean, it has a micro adjust on the fly, which is a good system. Like compared to the Zelos, it's so much more refined. Mm-hmm. Even the noises it makes, the push, even the release of it. Anyways, yeah, that's enough on that. But I really love it. Might be my favorite watch.
Oh, interesting. Wrist Ross, good on Paul for sticking up for CW. We wouldn't have any issues with these, but the name and the logo. Okay, so let's move on to the next watch. And you said you're not into luxury, but some of these Grand Seikos, man.
I don't know where it begins or ends, Bobby. I didn't define it. I didn't write the definition. But yeah.
But I love this three-hander here. You know what I mean? Like I got to tell you something about Grand Seiko. What I love what they do is I love the hands, the Delphine hands, and I love the polish on some of these hands. It looks so they're just so beautiful. Tell us about this one, Paul.
So this is what I originally wanted for my one watch before I wanted an OP39. I just could not find this one to see. They were going for about $1,800 new in late 2019, I think. And I mean, I say that I like functional, high function, everything, but Zaratsu is like the most decorative thing you can polish onto a watch, right? Mm-hmm. It makes it very flashy. This is more flashy than the Rolex OP39 I had because you can see it, the light catch it from across the room. But yeah, to me, I saw it in a Hodinkee ad and I saw the gray on it, and it's quietly loud. It was just so stunning. I don't like color on the dial. I think people know that. Mm-hmm. So I love the brush look because it's a very industrial look. I don't like an organic look. And it has angular lugs that comes from the Carrera. So yeah, and then the 9F is, it's not the greatest movement in the world. It's not even the best quartz movement, but it's tried and true. It had 25 years of development, and it works. And I paid $2,400 for it. And on the dial through a loop, that's the most perfect watch I've ever had. These two 9Fs that I have. So yeah, they're really neat.
Yeah, I'm gonna say maybe the nicest thing that I'll say this stream, but I think that's one of the best watches that Grand Seiko's ever made. I just think it's just in terms of aesthetics, I think it's fantastic. I had the anniversary edition one. My big complaint is that that bezel is soft as blue cheese. It's just
it really is.
Yeah. It's but outside of that, I mean, aesthetically, that whole collection, that SBGV 2, 4, whatever collection, I love the yellow one, which doesn't seem to get as much love as the others, but I think that's a nice little bit of a quirkier one. But I think this one in particular is it's a very unique piece. It's different. It's different from the typical gray dial stuff that you see out there. So I don't know. Is it more silver or more gray, or?
It's taupe to gray to silver. I mean, it really changes in the light. It's got a deep grain to it. So.
Yeah, I love the way that the lugs are on this one. It's a great piece.
Thank you.
Oil Money saying colorless, under 5K, not luxurious, checks all the boxes.
Sure does.
Wilson, love me some blue cheese. Okay, let's get going. And notice that there's a couple of brands, Paul, that you really, really gravitate to. And Grand Seiko is one of them, of course. And you have this spring drive right here. Tell us about this one.
Yeah, so the Seiko. I really like the how do I say this? Toned down case because the dial really pops on it. I had moved from Texas to Canada, and I moved from a humid and hot place to a very rainforest, rainy green forest. And I'm the first one to make fun of all the people that buy into that marketing hype. I don't think people at Grand Seiko go home and dream about water and dials. Can't wait to show up to work to create dials again. Like, can I come in on my day off? But I really like the dial on this one. Again, brushed gray. I like the green accents. It's calming. So like this is an anti-anxiety medication. On a rainy day, I put this on. And I enjoy the, electromagnetic brake on the spring drive. I think it's, again, a lot of research and development, which I really appreciate. The time and money spent into perfecting it is a big deal to me. That shows intent. It shows dedication. And then the resources to really do something. I mean, I think that's not talked about a lot. A lot of the resources aren't there to really do stuff, so you get a lot of decorative stuff. Anyways, yeah, I do like it. It is a bit boring. I think the gold clashes with the green. I wish that was silver and it matched the indices. I do like the SPGA 285 indices better. They're thinner, rectangular, and taller. I wish this had those. I don't mind the date wheel not matching because it is a gray dial, not a black dial. So the black would throw it off maybe a bit. So it's like an in between. The bracelet's all right. It's an oyster bracelet, but basically this to me is like very Japanese. They looked at a Datejust and they said, let's make a more refined, elegant Datejust watch. And that's exactly what it is. There's not a lot of Grand Seiko there. I mean, those Dauphine hands were not first by Grand Seiko. Yeah. The indices are, on the detail, they're milled, which is amazing. So those details really do it for me. I like the asymmetric of the power reserve, even though I could leave it. I've seen it without it and it looks awesome. But yeah, man, this is an engineering marvel to me. So yeah, I really like it too.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people get bothered by the power reserve and where it's situated and whatnot. I kind of like that part of the spring drive. I know people were excited when they decided to put the power reserve at the back for some of the models, but I kind of like seeing it. It doesn't bother me where it is located. I don't care if it's not in the same plane as the rest of the dial. I kind of dig it, and I dig the technology behind it. You know what I mean? It's something that I'm sure if I were able to ever try a spring drive model, I probably would want to buy it, because I just dig it. Now, maybe there might be other issues or other things about it that I don't like, and maybe I don't buy it, but I'm very, very curious about this. And I don't know if I trust myself at a Grand Seiko boutique for sure, Yeah. Chaz is saying spring drive calms you down. It's science. Can't argue with it.
That's right, Chaz. What's up, Tennessee?
This totally AGS. Why did you buy this watch if you don't like the way?
If you don't want it to look like a GS.
If you don't want it to look like a GS.
I disagree. I think a lot of Grand Seikos don't have a unique design. I think they're very derivative. I think the 9F that like the one Joe has, my SPGX, are still derivative, but they're more unique. Like the brush bezel is obviously from. Anyways, I think they look at the Swiss and they find them more refined. I just bought a car that's along the same lines. So, yeah, I mean, I respect your opinion, but I disagree. I think their designs are derivative, and it doesn't bother me because I have 3 of them, and I'm gonna buy more. So, NS. I really wish Grand Seiko would take a page from their own Creedor Ichi. I hope I'm saying that right. 2 and move the power reserve to the case back side, or just don't do a cutout and just have the hand there. I don't know. I mean,
so this is something that I hear a lot of the time, that people want their power reserves on the back of the case, which I like a power reserve on the front of the watch. I especially if you have more than one piece, right? Like maybe if it's the only piece that you have and you're wearing it every single day, it's unnecessary. But if you just want to be able to open your box, look at your watches, and know which one is getting low on power right away without even, thinking about it, it's a great complication to have, and it's great to have it on the front of the dial. It's something I never really understood the argument against I understand the argument that it messes up the symmetry of the dial and that stuff, but I don't know. I think it's a neat feature to a lot of pieces. This watch particularly is this is a it's a difficult one for me to look at because I had it, and I had it under interesting circumstances. You know, I don't want to go too much into the positives and negatives of it for that reason. You know, it's just I have an emotional reaction when I see it, that is both good and bad.
Which has nothing to do with the watch, actually, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a cool piece.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed having it when I did, but it was something that I had to move on from.
You want to say, Paul?
Oh, I don't, and I like, for me, I like very sober and I guess boring watches. So I understand, like, to me, I see that the seasons are more interesting, right? Like I can see that without the bezel, you know, it's a little more different, titanium, all that stuff. But for me, like my sales guy tried to sell me that winter and he could not believe I was buying a Seiko over the winter. He owned one and he was like, it's the winter, they're, you know, the whole deal. And I was like, yeah, I'm great. Can you wrap it up, please?
Kevin saying Seiko is a great looking watch. It's a great spring drive at a decent price. I actually like the power reserve.
That's another thing, is that new, this was one of the best values in the spring drive collection that Grand Seiko put out. For some reason, it was well underpriced most other spring drives. So, and it's a U.S. exclusive too.
Well under $5,000 for it, all in.
Wow.
That was pretty good.
Chaz saying, I love the power reserve on the front, but GS does have models with the power reserve on the back. Jeff saying power reserve is good there for me. Plan to add a GS in 2020. Dan loves seeing the power reserve go full.
It goes fast too. It's cool.
Yeah. Some GS put power reserve on the back. That's right. Kevin is saying with GS, the classics use the traditional GS case designs like the 44 GS and the 62 GS. The Seiko doesn't use one of those, not so quintessential GS, but still a beauty. Just I don't keep my power in reserve all the time. True that.
Turbo.
Max power.
Neo is saying that the Snowflake has been my favorite GS, but since they came out with the gray winter edition, I'm torn. Paul, so how do you feel about the Snowflake? Would that be something you're at, or is that not plain enough?
No, it's too big.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. Let's move on. And here's a pair of Grand Seikos. Tell us about these.
Yeah. So they're basically the same thing.
Yeah.
No, I mean, they updated. These might, again, I say this, I mean, we're all so full of it. The 9Fs might be my favorite watch. I mean, this is going to sound terrible, but for under $3,000, I can get away with wearing a super nice exterior on a watch that I'm not so worried about screwing up, because now that I dropped it, changing a strap and it destroyed the bezel, and then looked up how to restore it, I feel a lot better. So to me, these are like G-Shocks and tuxedos. And man, I don't know. Like for me, I think about a lot of things. Like, would Bruce Wayne wear this? If Bruce Wayne wouldn't wear this watch, I'm not going to buy that watch. Would Ayrton Senna wear that watch? Probably not. Probably not going to buy that watch either. You know, stuff like that. And then for me, it's also, and this may annoy people, a watch is a fashion item first and foremost to me. It has to fit well. It has to look right. It has to be sharp on me and make me look good. You know, I have more respect for myself than I do the accessory I'm wearing. So I don't want to wear something so much bigger or whatever. And I don't like conceptual things, even from cars to whatever. I like, again, sober, serious, very mainstream, not attract a lot of attention. So these to me are like the nicest high value luxury sports watches you can get. And again, the 9F's not perfect, but for, you know, I paid $3,200 all in for that SBGX. And the finishing is as good as anything I'm going to get for up to $10,000. I'm sorry, probably. UN has some nice things, but really, you're going to have to spend 2-3 times as much to get this finishing, and you're probably not even going to get it then on the dial. So, you know, those things are important to me. And the Zaratsu is really neat. And now that I'm not afraid to screw them up or dent the bezels, like, it's a really awesome, aggressive looking watch to wear. And I think it's very modern aesthetic. And again, angular and not grounded in nostalgia. So that's what appeals to me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Rolly. What do you think?
Rolly is showing some restraint here. Apparently, Paul never got the memo. 19F, Paul. 19F. Not
No,
2.
I bought 2.
No,
Yeah.
Paul. Wrong.
Yeah.
Only 19F. I will take the other 9F and I will poop on it. Bad
Oh,
Paul.
man.
Bad Paul.
So I shouldn't add the GMT also? No?
The GMT is nice. Sell both. Buy GMT.
Okay, good.
Rolly, maybe besides Clive, the most controversial guest on the Bobby Legs live streams. Michael, hey Michael, how you doing? Good to join us. Hey Mark. No, it's not Mark. It's Talking Watches. Sorry. As long as the PR doesn't spoil the symmetry of the dial. Okay. Fair enough. Catching up with the Neo likes both of these. Wouldn't Bruce Wayne wear a Rolex Batman? Very, very existential question.
Probably.
18F. There you go. You have an 18F. Beans, Paul, pick one of those two. What are you going with this?
SVGX 343, but I'm not selling the other one. I like to see the evolution of the design too. They obviously made it. Yeah, I liked it.
I think. Man, I would definitely love to own one of these like 9F quartz Grand Seikos. Man, I think part of me like really agrees with what you're saying about like aesthetically, aesthetics first, right? And then and I think Grand Seiko for the price point, with its finishing, it's hard to argue. It's hard to argue.
Sometimes you see a watch and it looks good, and you think like, okay, let me look at the specs and everything, so it has the credibility, so nobody's going to give me crap for this.
Yeah.
So sometimes you come from that angle, but no, yeah, I ended up. I mean, I got that SPGV. Oh no, I got the OP39. I ended up getting this a few months later. I sold the OP39 a month or two later.
Yeah.
I just.
Yeah. I hear. Yep. Chesterberg, I love Paul's commitment to style. Talking Watches, Yabi, Bobby, boring watch reviews. Well, I like to see you get Rolly, on your channel there, Talking Watches.
Oh, fine. I'll take my shirt off. Jeez. God, tough crowd.
Rolly is spoiling the symmetry of this live stream, and we love it. LOL. Yeah, let's get a little more. There he is. There's Rolly.
That's a stupid dog.
Now, what you all don't know is that Paul had both those 9Fs, and he had another one ordered.
I did.
We almost had a 27F.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yikes. Yeah. All right, let's move on. Okay. Hey, this is a recent pickup, and I gotta commend you for this one. I think this is a gutsy pick, and tell us about this one.
Yeah, this one's off the mark. This breaks the rules, but I don't like this. I don't like. How do I say this? I don't like neoclassical design at all. Like at all. Anything resembling neoclassical, even touching Art Deco, even stuff like that. I just no. I really like a modern aesthetic. So when I saw these, you see the same numerals over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, or variations of them. And it gets old because you see that that's designed by a watchmaker, not a designer.
Yeah.
So when I found out this was designed by somebody who specializes in font, you really look at it. Yeah, I mean, I can see the arguments against it. It's a fashion brand. It goes against my ideas of exclusivity because Hermes, they wouldn't even. I couldn't even get an appointment. I can't even get an appointment to get the class fixed because there's an issue with it. So like, I don't want to own an Hermes anything. I don't want a sweater. I don't like that whole deal. But they made this beautiful freaking watch. And it is the indices and everything about it were just nice. I really like that the seconds hand does not interrupt the indices, only the minute hand does. And that 8 kills me. I bought it basically because that 8, I just wanted to see it up close, and it's cohesive. Like they really thought about the design. Like even the arcs and the you know, the, what's the word? The circles can be congruent in a lot of places, even though they aren't right here. So I did see a lot of things in there that really I thought were really neat. And it's kind of a take on the Apple Watch and a take on the Nautilus, sort of, or Aquanaut, kind of. I saw that too at a much lower price. Anyways, I thought it was unique enough and neat enough. But then again, it's nothing special. It's a Voucher 3002 that they call an H1837. Dual barrels, but it's only got 50 hours of power reserve, so that's not incredible. And then when I pop it in to set the time, if I don't do it dead on, it'll pop back a couple of seconds. And I think Oris has some kind of issue like that too. So there are some things about it. I mean, it's got some hand finishing on the case, and you know, like it was just gorgeous. This one is a fashion watch that I bought because it had the credibility enough behind it. Yeah.
I'm on the record as saying that this is one of the best releases of the year. I was talking to Amin about it the other day, talking about some of my favorite releases of the year, and this was in my top 4. So, I mean, I think this was a really bold move. This, if I recall correctly, this is actually what replaced the third 9F in your cart.
It did.
And thank God it did.
I'll agree with that.
You know, I like you said, the that 8, that Theta 8 is awesome. I really love what they did with the numbers here. It's really they did something unique and different that I'd never seen before. So I think you hit a home run with this one. I can't applaud this one enough.
You know what I like about this pickup of yours, Paul, is that, you know, we're so inundated with new releases, right? And we often see some watches that maybe go out of, or let me speak for myself. I see some watches that are maybe a little bit outside of my comfort zone that I really, really like. And I said, you know what, I would get that watch. I never end up getting those watches, right? Because there's so many watches, right? But you got that watch. Like you saw it. I don't know if it was it doesn't sound like it was necessarily out of your comfort zone. It caught your eye, but this watch is definitely out of a lot of people's comfort zones. I mean, a lot of people I know say they like it, but they're not buying it. And you put your money where your mouth was, and you got this watch. And I think it's a great watch. I think it's a great pickup. Yeah. Raleigh, you agree?
Yes, I love this watch, Paul. This watch is sexy. Reminds me of my girlfriend Lexi I see at the dog park. I humped her last Wednesday. Yes.
Oh man, I think Raleigh's going to the pound after this stream tonight.
You gotta calm down there.
Paul 100% wants a Hermes sweater.
you know, he's just mad because he showed me that watch. Shreyas did, and then I got it later.
Saying Hermes has had that font for 20 years. People keep saying it's new. It's not. This watch is an evolution of the Hermes H line.
Good to know. And I know they had, actually, I like the font better on the Slim Hermes. I think that one's even more, that's very refined, just like down to the bare essentials of whatever. But I didn't know it's from back then. But yeah, I think they're just fantastic.
MJ saying the only thing wrong with this watch is its name. If it had a Tissot or Oris or CW, etc., people would be all over it. Maybe, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't hold it against this watch that it's made by Hermes. I mean, there's a couple of other Hermes watches that I find very, very attractive, and again, it would be, I'd buy that in a second, but I haven't. But there's some that I find appealing, but I get it. I mean, we know Hermes for mostly clothing and whatnot.
I'm not making fun of it. I mean, it's nice clothes and things. It's not for everybody. Not everybody's
right.
into it.
Absolutely. Despite any flaws, I still think this is a really unique and cool watch. Have never seen one in the wild, and I see everything on the streets of New York City. Rolexes are a dime a dozen around here. Time Hell loves the 4. Let's see here. It's now it's no 9F, but
Yeah, it's all right though.
it should be on an orange strap.
And apparently that's next year. I'll get that.
Yeah. Time Hell, Paul, how is the bracelet on the Hermes?
And like fitment is excellent. The links are really nice. The polishing is excellent for titanium. That's really hard to keep a polish on titanium. So even compared to my Christopher Ward, it's definitely a step up. But yeah, it has an issue with the clasp. Wolfgang saw that. I showed it to him. So on the double release, one side is extended too long, and it's not messing with the function, but it's just not correct.
Is it butterfly, Paul, or is it
double release?
Yeah.
Butterfly. Yeah.
Neff, I like how 99% of watch people immediately got behind this watch despite the name just on its own pedigree.
Yeah.
Justin saying, when I grow up, I want to be a font designer. Okay. All right, let's get moving. And so we're going to hit the other grouping, I think, here. And that, sorry, the Sinn 105 that you got here. Tell us about this one. I like this choice. Tell us about this one, Paul.
Okay, so this is kind of coincided with 50 years of Bauhaus, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. So it has a little bit of that element to it. It's not a typical Sinn. It's kind of a fashiony Sinn. It has an open case back. Those hands and indices, they match. I really like that, along with the mini hands. I just thought it was just such a sharp looking watch. I think it's really good looking. The bezel's just multifunctional. So it has that fashion element, but it's also super functional. It has that orange. And then the stack date I thought was awesome.
Okay.
I felt like my eye was drawn to it, the center of it, more than it would have been 3 or 9, I guess, but I'm probably just rationalizing my choice. And then I love the 104 case, but again, the dial had always been too grounded in back catalog, I guess I'd say. Oh, it was too old looking, I'd say. So I like this more modern aesthetic to it because I love the lugs on the 104 case. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm still the jury's still out for me with the stacked day and date.
Sure.
I do prefer this in the UTC version, which doesn't have the date, but does have the UTC hand. Yeah, for me, and this is nothing against your watch here. For me, it was an interesting choice by Sinn to go, and create the 105. I feel like they had a really good thing with the 104. They were knocking out of the park with the 104 with the limited releases. I would have liked to seen a UTC 104, and that's why I think they went with the 105. Maybe they just didn't want to, they wanted to leave the 104 alone and not mess it up much with added complications. So it was a curious move by them in my mind. Especially with that stack date. I mean, like they're not the first people to do that, but it's not common. But I think it's been growing on me. I got to tell you, and that usually the watches that I really really like. At first, I didn't like them, and then they just started growing on me. Like the snowflake hands is an example of that. The Lego hands on the U1 and the U50 I didn't like either. So Sinn always. Yeah, every once in a while, Sinn will throw out a model there that I just don't like, and then 6 months later, I'm obsessive about it.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't take offense. I didn't design or develop or retail the watch. So
yeah.
I never get offended if somebody does. You can. I mean.
Yeah. No,
everybody has such different tastes. Yeah. I'm just saying, just in general, like, I mean, it's just better to have a real discussion about critiques than, I mean, I'm not going to get my feelings hurt.
No, I got you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. The 105 line really spoke to me immediately when Sinn came out with it. I had the Paul and I both bought in the 105 line around the same time. I had the UTC, the white dial. I kind of fell out of love with it over time. I actually over time started to prefer the orange and black one over the white. Something about it just wasn't. It didn't hold my interest anymore. It was actually it started to look weird to me for some reason over time, and that's why I moved on from it. But like it's just a cool piece. The pill shaped indices. That's a something that you don't really see every day. It's a fine piece.
I think what I liked about the 104 and why I prefer the 104 over the 105 is I like the syringe hands. And to me, they're really, really clear in pointing at what time you're looking at. And there's something about that I like. I think the hands, the pill-shaped hands, is a little tough for me to get on board with. But again, this is not a slight against your selection or the watch itself. It's just a matter of taste. And I still think it's a great built watch. You know what I mean? I've had the UTC in, and it's for review, and it's a damn good watch for sure.
Well, it's like like the pill shape, like even like I say, like I like high function, like they don't make it more functional. You know what I mean? That's a very highly stylized decision.
Yeah,
but I just happen to really like it.
Yeah. Justin wanted to know: did you really pose it with all those straps?
It asked me to. The kid is just a ham, so he likes to get his picture taken. So yeah, I dress them up like dolls. They have their favorite outfits. We're getting ready for the pageant. It should be pretty good.
Yeah, great strap choices with that Sinn. Paul, does Raleigh agree?
Yeah, what did Raleigh say?
Raleigh's still in timeout from the last one. We're gonna let him take his punishment for a little bit.
Okay, he's in the doghouse. Okay.
Yeah.
No, we should get him out soon, though, for sure. I think he will. I think he'll make an appearance later.
I can guarantee it. He'll be back.
Yeah.
Kevin S. Bobby wants Sinn to be the 104 watch company. No, that's not true. Stop it. Thomas, thank you for the super chat. I love this Sinn of yours, Paul. The black strap with the orange stitching looks awesome. Yeah, absolutely.
Hadley Roma Kevlar.
It's funny. I remember when Paul first bought this one, and I just like face palmed. I was just like, I can't put out of the different options for the 105. He chose this one. Like, are you kidding me? Like, and then it actually grew on me. Like I'm still not sure how I feel about the stacked.
Was that the week we bought the knots?
We'll get into that later, I'm sure.
We'll talk about that later. Yeah.
Not saying I love the hands on this. It's a date and the indices that are too small for me. Yeah. I hear you.
That's
I hear
a good
you now.
point.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get going now. Here's the next grouping. The
time to go, guys. It has been a lot of fun.
No way, man. Get over here. Get back
kidding.
here.
I'm not really
with your plaid pants. Come on.
Tell us about pajamas. I'm sharp from the waist up.
Yeah.
Okay, this is my career.
Look. Yeah. Before you start, I heard you on Sanjay's live stream, and look, I grew up in the '90s. I don't know how old you are. I'm probably a little bit older than you.
42.
Yeah, I'm 48. So we kind of grew up, and the main watch players or the big marketers in the watch game was Tag and Rolex, right? You know what I mean? Like I almost didn't even know any other watches existed in the 90s because it was like bombarded with Tag and magazines and whatnot and TV and sporting events. Everybody just knows Rolex, right? So like, the Carrera, I mean, I still have some friends now, right? Who are not really big watch guys and my cousin who this is their grail watch is a Tag Carrera. So tell us about these.
Yeah, the Carrera is easily my favorite watch. I'm pretty sure I'm staring at the best looking watch on the planet. not the best watch, that's for sure. But yeah, man, I mean, I'll tell you this. I wish that watch competed with the Aquaterra, and I wish it competed with the OPs. What it is that's a watch. Somebody goes to the store and they see an Aquaterra costs $6,000. They see that's $2,700, and they think that's good enough. And it probably is. They'll never join a watch group. They'll never think about it again. They don't know an ETA from SW200. They don't care. They think it's a caliber 5, and that's fine. They're getting a really nice case, really nice finishing, rhodium plated indexes and dials that have a lot of good details, but they're paying way too much for it, just like I did. That's a $1,500 watch. I didn't pay more than $1,500 for my Tag Carrera last time, 39. I didn't pay $1,500 more for my Aqua Racer, and I don't think they're worth much more than that. But to me, that's my third generation. I've had all of them. My brother gave me my first one as a best man gift in 2006. I had a reissue that got stolen by a street magician. I bought another one with the Tag logo on it, which I prefer. So, I mean, these watches, I was in shifter carts and had an accident, shaved half the case off one. Hi, sweetie. You know, I mean, I had a Carrera for most of my major life events, and I don't care that it's an SW200. What it represents is more important. I'm glad that it's just, you know, not a total piece of crap, but it does deserve a better movement. And I think the Carrera deserves more respect. And I think Tag Heuer should treat it as such, like they did with the O2. We'll get to soon.
Well put there. Love the 2 tags, Chaz says.
That's
Justin, right. Put on the lucky sweater and pajama pants.
I did.
Kevin, thank you so much. Use this to buy Paul a red shirt.
I don't want a red shirt. Those guys get killed first. I like Star Trek. No red shirts.
Justin, Justin's asking me, is your cousin named Paul? No, it's not. No, he's not. Let's see here.
So,
yeah,
as someone who also listened to or watched Sanjay's stream that Paul was on, and listening to him just wax poetic about Tag Heuer and how much he loves the brand and all that stuff, like, so many of us afterwards were just like, I admit it, I was looking up Tag Heuers right after that show. You know,
me too.
It's like the perfect watch. It's the perfect watch for Paul. It's the perfect. He made such a strong argument for it. You know, it's a solid brand. It doesn't deserve the hate that it gets. It's you know, it's one of those things where the hate almost gets more annoying than the brand itself, you know. So I support Paul in these decisions.
Well, you know, just because you like me, you can still rip the watch apart. I mean, it is overpriced. There's no doubt about it. But what am I supposed to do, man? It's my favorite watch. You know?
Yeah.
So, Paul.
Yeah.
I happen to agree with my master over here. And just want to make it clear. One Tag Heuer, right? Just one. You only need one Tag Heuer in the collection, correct?
No.
Yes. Only one, Paul. Please tell me only one Tag Heuer in the collection.
Why would you do that? That's a terrible idea. I'd cry, spit, scream. Boo-boos would be super upset. That'd be real bad.
Well, Rolly, before we get to the next one,
Yeah.
Is it appropriate right now to tell us how you got one of your tags stolen from?
Oh yeah, I was an obnoxious 20-something-year-old at a bar with friends, and I was making fun of street magicians, entitled idiots do. And I left the bar without a tag, 36 millimeter reissue with the Arabic numerals, and I probably deserved it. I was an ass. I was an ass. Yeah, that happened in Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody is entitled to their one shitter. Their one shitter. You only need one, Paul. Just one shitter.
Yeah.
Kevin S. wearing Tag Heuer is like drinking Cutty Shark. We all know it, and it gets the job done.
Yeah.
Okay.
They give them away at Hooters once a week, so it's kind of cool.
Okay. Well, Rolly, here's the next one. Another Tag Heuer. Chrono. Tell us about this one, Paul.
Oh,
this one's funny because I had to pay more for those circles on the dial, which I thought was crazy. No, just kidding. This one's the O2, and it has 168 moving parts, 268 components, about 208 moving parts. It's a vertical clutch column wheel chronograph that uses modern manufacturing techniques. It's a low maintenance, in-house, modern Carrera, and that is actually absolutely my favorite watch. That's what I've been waiting for. That's what I wanted, not the 1887, which has sketchy origins. This is the one that a lot of us have been waiting for.
Yeah.
That's not a reissue. That's a modernized Carrera. Yeah.
Raleigh?
So, Paul. All right. Listen, I think this is a good piece. I think this is the best piece that you have as far as the tags are concerned.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's a great chronograph. It's very sharp. One of the best pieces I think that they put out in the last few years. I'm trying to keep Rolly over here restrained. He's getting really upset. He does not like the brand. It's it's a shame. It's a shame that people can't appreciate those who have multiple tag Heuers. But
well, I wouldn't recommend it for anybody but me. All right, so
I think I think it suits you well.
I like them.
Take that for what it's worth.
Yeah.
Thank you. If your opinion mattered, I would cherish it, Joe. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. You know it does. I ask you all the time.
Kevin S. I also like the Carrera Twin Time GMT. Oh, there you go. And he's drinking Rare Eagle. Okay. Dib saying,
What's up, Dib?
Get on here, Dib. Jump on.
Get in here. Would you get in here, Dib? Well, and the reason why, if Dib can get in here, I want him to get in here because, these are all the watches that you sent us, Paul, but you left out a couple apparently.
A lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute.
The sub collection. What else did I left out? Well, I also wanted to go over this one. This is what I was going to show this year. Like, this is just about my favorite watch because Wolfgang bought it for me on vacation, and it was an unbelievable gift.
Yeah.
So it's not something I would ever buy myself, and I absolutely cherish it. I think it's just, it's.
I guess Rolly must have scared the fourth tag Heuer off the stream.
Thanks, Chris. Thank you so much.
Just bored enough people.
Well, hold on. We have a couple here that Joey thought that we should also go over. Let's go here. And you have a Zalos here. Yeah. Now this one has an interesting nickname.
That is I'm just so good looking. It's ridiculous, guys, right? Like, wow.
Joey, please jump in here, please. Raleigh?
Paul, there is something I really like about this watch. I just want to get my nose right up to it and get a nice whiff of it. I bet that watch smells delicious. I follow things around like that at the dog park day and night.
Oh, man.
The most perfect dial I have ever seen.
It was called Gray Dawn, and I typed them an email, and I said, "Dear Zealots, I only collect gray dials, and if I can't find a gray dial, I'd like a black dial. This is called Gray Dawn, and you sent me something that looks like an anus, and it's definitely brown. So I think you should rename this Anus Brown so that people don't get confused. And by the way, I'm no longer allowed on the internet and watch groups because I posted this watch in Horology Talk, and I think half the group banned me. So they blocked me. And I thought I would do that because it's a micro. That was not a good decision. Yeah.
I remember when you first bought this. and I didn't know you that well at the time, Paul. Like we were starting to get to know each other pretty good, but I didn't know you that well. But I knew that you're like into cars and stuff. And I was sitting there and I'm thinking like, I bet you he's sitting around and he's putting together little like model cars, and he's using the glue and he's just breathing in all this glue, and then like he like goes online and he sees that, he's like, oh, here's a good idea. So I recommend just pushing the glue away from this area before you make another purchase.
I hear if it's really good stuff, you end up with a Helios, like a higher end dose. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's different stuff.
Well, we're not done yet here, Paul. We still got another watch, the last one, I think. And tell about this watch.
Oh, that's the black one. I have a silver one too. That's a lot prettier.
So you bought two of these?
One not, Paul.
No, I bought one and I got one for free because I complained about how dirty the dial was, and then they sent me that one, and then I asked them again if they wanted to return this one, and I never heard from Rachel again after 47 emails back and forth. So I don't even think they want it. So Joe and I were chatting in the evening as adults do.
In my defense, I would guess I was probably about 7 IPAs deep at the time, and Paul was maybe 2 mimosas in.
We thought it would be a good prop, I think. And then you bought it, and you said, "Did you buy it?" And I said, "Yeah, I bought it." And you said, "I bought it too." And we're like, "We're idiots."
No, we said we're geniuses. Is what we said.
We're geniuses. Yeah, we have the finest Zeratsu at the cheapest price. Let's see how it turns out.
Yeah, and you know what? I'll be honest. For the price, it's a fantastic piece.
Yeah.
The logo makes you feel a little bit worse about yourself every single time that you look at it.
It's like a vegan brand somewhere with like with like people wearing burlap sacks or something. I don't know. It's like it feels like it's some cult family in Japan that makes these things. Did you ever wear it? Did you ever really wear it?
I wore it a few times. I gave it to my dad. He likes it. I just
pawned it off on your forefather.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's not Zeratsu. I put it next to the GS. It's not on the. It's not the same level.
It's an incredibly well finished watch for the price. It's got a nice movement in it. It for the price. A lot of depth to the dial. The sub dials are really nice. But man,
stupid.
Yeah, there's better ways to spend your money.
Yeah.
Conqueror Watches. Hi from Conqueror Watches. We are launching a January 10th on Kickstarter. Please see your views, Random Rob and Perth Watches, and many, many more. Thank you for the super chat. Watches. Dib here was not a little disappointed I did not come in. It's not an elegant watch. It's not Paul's best moment, if I'm being honest. I see what you did there, Dib. I see what you did there.
Let me just say.
Yeah.
You two disgust me. He's talking to me, not to you, Bobby.
Okay.
For getting the nod.
Paul, you seem to like Grand Seiko. What is your favorite Grand GS release ever?
SBGX 343. I love that angular. I mean, I even think about getting that new Dachshund stainless steel because that case is so awesome. Now they have a black dial. And the Zenith Defy Classic has a case that's along those lines. And I want a black or gray dial.
I love Colin saying, I love those stories when people buy a Rolex for their father. This is not one of those stories.
Yeah,
he loves it. And in my defense, my brother brought him home a fake Rolex from China, and that finally died after 10 years. So I gave him a couple of my shitters.
Yeah,
and he loves them both. So
Kevin S. Hey, Dad. Thanks for all the love, guidance, and support over the years. Here's a shit or not watch to say thanks. My father would disown me if I gave him this watch. Oh man. Great choice, Paul.
Thank you. One out of 10. Awesome. Thanks, man. Just killing it.
Well, look, I mean, I got to tell you, you got me also looking into tag again. I mean, I've never bought one for myself, but I've always been interested in the Monaco. I just like the way that looks. It's
Sure.
I want to start a sub collection one day of like places that I've been. I know Monaco was named after a race mainly, but it's in Monaco, right? So
it's Monaco, yeah.
So that would fit that criteria, that watch. I just like the way it looks,
Yeah.
It's
historically important. It's an iconic watch. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, like I'm interested in Grand Seiko. I mean, I went through a stretch about a couple months ago. Was like I was definitely going to get one, and I go back and forth. But I'm interested in adding, a beautiful quality watch that has a quartz movement. I just like the ticks of that 9F. I had one in for review, the GMT.
Yeah.
And it almost feels like the pressure just builds up until it clicks over. Like I feel it's not like a soulless tick like you would see in a quartz watch that's a $50 quartz watch, right? This tick feels like there's something behind it.
It looks like,
and I really like it.
To me, it looks like it defies physics. It's like such a solid piece of metal that just stops without any how would I say it? In place, solid. Like it clicks to place without any, like it weighs nothing. Like there's no mass to it.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty cool. But at the same time, like I at higher price points when you start, I mean, I just focus at this price point now. Maybe I sell half of them and I get a UN Freak. I think that watch is fascinating.
Well, speaking of like that, I mean, is there anything in the horizon that you look to add to your collection, or any wants or wishes?
Yeah, I mean, yes, I do. I don't have any beautiful looking movements. I have very industrial stuff. A spring drive's not a good looking movement. I'm not going to say that it is. I don't think so. My O2 is industrial looking too. I like that. That's cool for a sports watch. That's cool for something I want to use as a tool and all that instrument like. But yeah, I had a Breguet moon phase a while back, and just in a time of my life, I mean, I am a single dad and I take care of people and stuff. And like, I'm always running around. Like I literally could get catch up on any, you know what I mean? Like I put on a watch and I want to forget about it. I don't want to have to sit there and think about it all day. But when I catch a glimpse of it, I'm like, oh, well, that's a great looking watch. Let me mess with it for a second.
Yeah.
But later in life, if I'm reading and writing or something, I would love to have a Breguet Classique. And mine didn't have an open case back, which is a travesty. But I didn't know that much about watches at that time. I just knew, to me, points of origin are important. And, Breguet is such a point of origin. It's just amazing. So like, I make fun of a lot of stuff that I like myself, like gray wool and 911s, So I mean, so for me, for neoclassical, I do like Breguet Classiques. I think that line is amazing. I would so at some point in time, I'm going to get one again.
Yeah. Cool. Chaz is saying this hobby needs more enthusiasts who buy watches they like and not follow the herd. Well done. I agree, Paul. You definitely don't think you follow the herd.
Job done. Only did it to get on the show. I can sell them all. Get a Rolex.
Okay, Kevin. Thanks for that reminder. Love your gray head tiled tag, Paul. I should get one of those. No joke. Colin, I think you're joking. Tool. Paul's talking to himself in the third person.
I don't think I did.
Damasco makes a cool gray dial. The Breguet Classique is the pinnacle, Paul. The 7147 is my grail. Yeah.
Yeah, that would,
beautiful watches. Joey, you wanna let Raleigh have one last crack at?
Yeah, I mean, first thing I'll just say, I have a lot of appreciation for Paul's collection and his outlook and his perspective on this type of stuff. Everybody loves to dog on him all the time, and
I love
I
it.
know that we all do it out of love too. You know, it's like
It makes me feel real welcome, like a golden retriever. I like it.
So I'll get that out of the way before I give Rolly the last word from this rectangle on the screen, and come here to say exactly what he came to say. Paul, this was the most perfect collection I have ever seen. From top to bottom, my eyes glistened as I watched this stream. It is so perfect for me to poop on.
Paul, again,
Bad dog.
Joey, thanks for sitting in. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Joe.
Great collection, Paul.
Thanks for having me on.
Great. It's good knowing you, man, and I'm glad you came on tonight. And you're more than welcome to come on the show anytime. And you too, Joey. Maybe Rolly, we'll think about that invitation. But maybe Rolly get some more practice. We'll let him back on again. Anyway, guys, good night, chat. Good night, and we'll see you next week. Take care.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.